Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all some time to tune in. My bad. Lady Shay, baby. Commander, baby. Moo moo. First things first, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I know a lot of y'all done went back to work. A lot of y'all, you got your kids back in school, preparing for the school year. Some of them came and went, y'all. But hopefully everybody's enjoying themselves. Everybody's blessed, keeping themselves safe as always. And again, happy birthday to all the Virgo babies in here. Hopefully enjoy your birthday weeks, weekends, all of that. Appreciate everybody that tuned in yesterday for the conversation. Just a little dust off of the conversation we had on Saturday. Definitely was a good one. Even yesterday was a good one, despite the quote unquote fake followers. But if you missed it, definitely catch the replay. Today, trying to get some good perspective on things. Um, Fellas, question of the day. In a certain situation, do you leave or do you stay? If you're with somebody, married to somebody, and they are not appreciating the things that you are doing for them, do you stay with them or do you up and leave? When does the cutoff point actually take place? I would say in certain situations, there are men who are still going to stay regardless because they don't know their value and their self worth. Some of them definitely coming from broken backgrounds, so you basically out there in the streets naked. But if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing for your wife, prime example, keeping the roof over the head, you are doing everything necessary for the betterment of both of you, there should be a respect level there, period. Now, if everything was simple before you added this person in your life, then you need to remember that. You need to remember that if things were that simple, then keep it simple. Don't add no extra complications to anything. It really shouldn't. Fellas, if you working, I'm gonna say it like this: you working long hours, you working long hour weeks. When you decide you want to relax and rest, you should be able to do so. Honestly, any person that's working well over 40 to 60 hours, shoot, they deserve the utmost respect. Especially if some of them shifts are coming in on a daily. Prime example, if you're working 14-hour days, 15-hour days. In 3 days, let's say if you're working 15-hour shifts, you done accumulated, what, 45 hours within 3 days? If it's like that for 4 straight days, it's 60 hours. 5 straight days, you just worked 75 hours in 5 days. You think somebody really gonna have the time and energy to do certain things? No, they're gonna want to relax. And it should be a respect level. Let that person relax and rest. You don't want the man to be an unemployed Floyd or a non-go getter, right? But you got to remember this part too. When that person is determined to try to keep you happy, even doing things at their own expense that they ain't happy doing, you should respect and love that. Harry, what's going on, my guy? There's some of y'all that should respect that. Now, you can't expect a man to work that many hours out the day and then come home and still have energy for every little thing. No, some are gonna want to come home, decompress. Let me take a shower. Let me eat something. Let me make sure my lady or the kids is straight, and then let me try to rest. My thing is, you can't cry about certain things, and then when these certain things are presented to you, um, it's crazy. When it's given to you, you still have an issue or a problem. Now you can't be a beggar and a chooser. You begged for this man to do something. Now he's doing something, but you choosing now to let it be a problem. If that man decides out of the days that he do got off, one of those days he just want to relax to himself, why why can't he do it? I ain't messing with you, Harry. Yeah, it's true though. Like, come on now. There's some of you who determine, shoot, you determined to get what you want, but it's almost it's at your stakes, it's at your risk how you want to do it. Nah, you can't sit here and expect somebody to work hours on end, and then you still appreciate it. No, at some point it's going to become a problem. See, in the instance I was talking about, this dude is working 14, almost 16 hours out the day. You're barely getting the 8 hours of sleep. And you're working every day, not just to keep bills paid. You doing it because your lady wanted this, your lady wanted that. You was trying to do everything to make sure you had the happy wife. But then you still, wife seemed to be unhappy. You brought up something about not having time. When again, let's keep it real. That man had enough time for you at one point, but now because you want and require extra things, he's trying to make sure that you have it. Oh snap! That's what's up, my guy. That's what's up, man. Pass my money, son. Since you want to come in here and talk all that shit. BMF, what's going on, my guy? Come in here, man. Let me get my dollar. Let me get my $50 scratch off. Nah, but come on. You can't expect somebody to work hours, and I mean extreme hours out the week, and have the same energy they once had before. Not unless they could basically drop off some of the load. Like for real. Okay. If I'm not working anything over 9 hours a day, cool. I still have time to go to work, come home, do what I do, make sure you and the family straight, and then we figure out what we gonna figure out. But you can't make an assumption and think that everything is supposed to remain the same. If you want more, that means 9 out of 10 that man that you are with, especially if you know you got a real solid one, is gonna do whatever it needs to do to protect and provide. But in this day and age, like I said, they basically got the things rearranged. There's some of you ladies out there who, again, cry and mope and beg for something, But when you got it or it's presented to you, you don't know how to handle it or how to receive it. Or you'll find a way to mess it up for yourself. Now, in that instance right there, lady about to get divorced. I think that man was serious about leaving. Like, you can't sit here and expect me to work 14, 15-hour days. I only probably get one day off out the week. I want to try to relax and do as much as possible. Yes, I understand we need to spend time together, but in the same token, if I got things I'm trying to do right now to keep you happy, I got to do what I got to do to suck it up. And even if I make time with you again, you got to understand what comes with that. Serious, baby. You already know if y'all just tuned in at the like button. You know, you found the smallest thing to nag about. Oh, because he decided he wanted to relax and rest. That man just worked 6 days out the week. Damn near put in almost 80 hours. If that. By anybody's standards, that's too many damn hours within a week. So again, let's think about that. How much energy or how much drive you think somebody gonna have when they have been driving their bodies crazy and driving themselves crazy throughout the whole week? You know, and it adds up throughout the month's time. It adds up. All the hours you work, it does add up. If you definitely not getting the proper rest, especially if you're dealing with emergencies and everything else, come on, man. You ain't really getting no rest, and it's not fit. Don't make no complaints about son. You wanted this man to work. Now this man worked and doing what's needed to try to again take care of you and your needs. How was that fair? How was that fair that this brother is going out there to do all of that for you, and you still unappreciative of that? Now, let you would have been with the unemployed Floyd or the unemployed Pookies in there, you wouldn't have even opened your mouth to say anything. You probably would have nagged for a bit, but you wouldn't have been nagging like how you nagging about this man. You nagging about a man that's working. Listen, sometimes if we are working up 1 hours, we're gonna be tired. That doesn't mean we care less about you or we don't value or admire you or none of that. No, it just means we're tired. Now, if you was reasonable and knew what was going on, all right, let me at least put that much respect. He getting out there, he's doing what he need to do, not taking those shortcuts, not taking anything that's going to risk our lives. He's trying to do what's better for us. Just think about it. Where you at right now, if you buying a house, that shit ain't cheap. And if you ain't got the money saved up or if you ain't got the money adequate to do anything, you basically shoot. You're gonna be busting your hump until you get where you need to get to. And again, this is where the problem starts. Live within your means. Like I was saying before. Live within your damn means. There's gonna be things you break your neck for. You ain't gonna be able to take that when it's when it's time for you to go. You ain't gonna be able to take that. The most you can do is pass it along if you can even do that. There's some of you who want so much because again, you trying to keep up with the Joneses. You trying to show everybody that this is what you accumulate or this is what you know you could get. You worried about expensive items and things along those lines. And those items, guess what? They're gonna come and go. They just for face value basically. Because when it's all said and done, guess what? You done put in all this time and effort for basically nothing. Again, know what's important. If keeping a roof over your head is important, then that's what you're working for. If making sure you providing for your wife and your kids is important, then you keep doing that for that reason. Other than that, you know, shouldn't be having to put extra stress or extra anything on your heart that you don't need. And again, I think this is the problem. Cool Gamer, what's going on? There's a lot of people who are unhappy in these situations and refuse to say anything, even down to the men. Yes, there's some of you who are upset, but it's time for y'all to start getting that out. And I could tell within that video I seen, yeah, that man was just, he was just tired. Like, yeah, I'm doing everything because I felt I gotta keep you happy, and then I'm doing everything to keep you happy, and you still complain about something. So what? Like, where's the resolution at? For real, what resolution do we have? Rudy, what's going on, man? Well, you gotta understand that part. You know, like where does the common ground begin? Because there's no way, prime example, I could sit here and try to place all of this financial burden basically on somebody and then still be unhappy. You know, and that man kept saying prior to that, my life was simpler because I didn't require much. And even when I was dating, I believe that even when that man was dating, I believe 9 out of 10, he still had it simple. It wasn't no, you gotta have this to be with me, or you gotta have this to keep me happy. Like I said, you're worried about materialistic things that it really serves no purpose, no value. Well, again, just be happy and be thankful that you got somebody that's doing everything possible, again, not just to keep you happy, but doing everything he's supposed to do as a solid individual and provide. And I would say for some of you men too, you mess up yourselves too with certain things. I will speak to those men who need to hear it. Y'all mess yourselves up because same way. Some of y'all have the goal and the opportunity to keep something in front of you, and you'll mess it up. I can use this as a prime example. It might be a little bit off, but you'll get where I'm going with. With Chicago, baby, people, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna use this celebrity as a reference right now. The original Foxy Brown. Everybody wanted Pan Grid, right? You know, like come on now, that was everybody's fantasy. Damn, this woman is chocolate brown, got a good head on her shoulders, good personality. Seems like she's, you know, not too fond of certain things outside of having whatever. Any person would kill or get that, right? But the thing is, how do you have somebody that's not hard to get, not hard to please, and you mess that up because of drug use, prime example. You know, things along those lines. You got somebody solid like her, and then you mess it up because you decided this is more important than me focusing on my relationship with this person. Especially when you know a person don't want to see that happen. Fellas, there's no woman that want to see a man break down and break apart in front of him, and vice versa. There's no man that wants to see a woman break down. Some of y'all have to learn that when you have something sitting right in front of you, guess what? If it's giving you all the best comfortability and possible options of happiness and love, don't do anything to disturb that balance. Got you a man that's working and willing to do what's needed. Hey, respect that, love that. It's hard to come across that sometimes. Fellas, she not easy, but she not that hard to get neither. You should be happy about that. Especially if she's focusing on you and giving all her attention to you, nigga. That's the most important thing to remember. Dee baby. See, I know what it is to a degree, and it goes back to what I was saying. See, back in the day, it was different. We knew what some of the issues were with some people not making it past that golden stage, whether it was relationship or marriage. You know, some of it we know is heavy drug use. Like, look, prime example, one or two people that came across that one. You had a opportunity of a lifetime with a great lady, and you messed it up because of drugs. Some things you got to put away, man. See, again, it's not to try to keep the person that you with. That's the main challenge that everybody fail to realize. That's the most important thing when it comes down to a strong marriage or relationship. The things you did to snag your counterpart is the same things you need to incorporate to keep them. And if you got to incorporate new and improved things to keep everything spiced up and still keep everything on the first stages, then hey, that's what you solely need to do. Like for some women, if you got your man by always, just being soft, not so much soft spoken, but being soft, being kind hearted, even down to feeding the nigga belly, right? Excuse me for saying it that way, but it's true. And that man is appreciative of that. Hey, you got something good right there. That person ain't leaving because of that. Wait a minute, she did all this for me, and she ain't have to. Oh nah, she a keeper. Appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working hard than my damn coffee maker, baby. But yeah, gotta remember that. Okay, that person is there because they want to see exactly what you are about, number one. And if you want to be willing to take the reins of whatever. But I'm gonna speak about something too that it kind of affects women, and it kind of affects men too. It affects on both ends if you want to be technical. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's people that are just not gonna take the reins or take responsibility or take on responsibilities that ain't theirs. Like there's some of you women who think that a man must be with you or is forced to be with you. No, that's still a man's choice if he's going to be with you. Because the thing, I was looking at something that just didn't make no sense. You had kids with 7 different dudes. 7. And you expect a man, I'm granted, if you feel you at a stage where you got prime example, you got grown kids, like I said before, that's different. Now that's your time. Whether you was with the significant other or not, that's your time to do what you gonna do. James, what's going on? But if you got babies, you can't expect somebody to just come out of the woodworks and take reins and responsibilities like that. And you definitely can't make an option on, well, I don't want this person to do this. So what do you want this person for? Oh, you just want him to be the financial person, basically. And in certain instances, some of y'all having these kids wild crazy just so you can abuse the system. I ain't forget about that part. In that instance right there, you should learn after your first experience of having a child. Is this something I really want to continue to do? Or do I want to give my children the best possible options and not so much as just rely on a government system? Again, it's about the choices that you make. And some of you ladies make poor choices. Same thing with some of you men. You make poor choices in what you don't. Spreading your seeds everywhere and not saying, damn, let me make sure that this woman got a strong mindset. Let me make sure she ain't gonna be the type that harms my kids. Y'all don't be thinking about things like that until it's too late. That's why I said when you are vetting somebody out, you need to know exactly where their mind space is at. If they feel the same way you feel about certain things, like wanting to have children. Prime example, you both don't have children, but now all of a sudden you want to talk about it. Come on, man. Marlene, baby. Come on. These are conversations you need to have because before you go any further and deeper, you need to make sure everything is everything. And again, some of you are making erash and poor choices. If after one mistake you see that this is what happened to you, your goal should be this. Let me make sure that this doesn't happen again. Don't make the same mistakes twice. Like again, think about it. This person, the hell is that? I'm bad, yeah. I think somebody alarm going on. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a badass alarm too. You got 7 different kids. No, you got 7 kids with 7 different dudes. You think the 8th dude is going to make something more, more successful? No, it's not. First of all, ain't no man that I know at least is going to stand with that responsibility. Nah, you got young kids. Like you got all these different attachments to you. The only 2 attachments you really don't have to you is the one that's deceased and the one that's locked up. But you still got ties with the other 5, regardless to what. And it's time for people to start reading their mates before anything. One thing I've seen that becomes a problem is some of y'all have allowed the internet or just allowed any social media platform to become your venting spaces. And some of you mess yourselves up or possibly mess up your futures with people that you're dealing with because you're putting too much out there. Now, prime example, if you and your significant other are going through the rocky patches, you gotta keep that offline. Figure out what you're gonna figure out from there, and then you keep it pushing, even if y'all do go y'all separate ways. But the one thing again, like I said before, and this seems to be the problem. I've seen this mostly with women, but I've seen this with men as well too. Y'all come on here and try to expose the person you was just with. But the more you keep complaining and moping about that person, the more you look crazy after a while because people are going to say, well, damn, if this person was really that much of a whatever, why was you still with them? Or why did you get with them in the first place? I feel like this. If you said what you need to say, all right, even if you and that person ain't no longer attached, you don't have to disrespect them. Don't have to disrespect them. You don't have to downplay them. None of that shit. If things didn't work out, hey, look, we had our little rough patch. We couldn't get past 1 or 2 little things. It wasn't neither my fault or their fault. Let's just keep it pushing from there. Not know I gotta go on a tirade, talk crazy about you, try to downplay you to make myself look better. Then, when it's all said and done, you still complain about that person. Now, you guess what? You keep making complaints or making content about a person, at some point again, you're going to start looking like the crazy one. Why? Because again, if that person was that much of a horrible person to you, why did you get with them in the first place, knowing that this is what they was about? That's like in the same instance, if you know the dude is only out just to hit and quit, why would you have unprotected sex with that, knowing damn well that's exactly what their goal was? No, that's a whole fact because there's just some things you need to always keep under wraps. You know, people want to tell people secrets and all sorts of shit. But in that same token, you was still with that man. And if that man wasn't satisfying you in any way, shape, or form, then you shouldn't have got with them in the first place. Or the minute something didn't go the way you felt it should have went, then that's when you should have had the conversation on things. See, it is a maturity levels. I see there's a lot of these young women too that do that. A lot of these young men be out here exposing stuff. My thing is, at the end of the day, y'all know what y'all was getting into. Lady Shay, baby. No, man. You walked in as you hearing fire sirens. So that means you did something, IB. What the hell you did, man? Yeah, fire department going. Yeah, somebody alarm is going off. Crazy though, for real. My bad, y'all. Man, listen. Didn't I tell you not to come in here and catch a eulogy? You're gonna come in here and catch a eulogy, good sir. Tell him. Tell him. Nah, but it's a maturity level. Like even if you're unhappy with certain things, right? The internet is not the place to bring all of your woes and all your personal matters. And then, like I said, it's sad though. I wasn't talking about you, Lady Shay. Your name IB? Man. Lady Shay, go sit in the corner. I was talking about this fool right here. You ain't do nada. Uh-huh. No, but come on now. Not every personal detail of your life need to be out there like that. Like there's some of y'all that will go on a complete fit. Oh, they ain't do this and they ain't do that and they was this and that. If they was all of that in the bag, if they wasn't all of that in the bag of chips, then why you was with them that long? That'd be like you being with somebody for at least 5 years. Y'all finally break up. Now you want to try to air out dirty laundry and shit like that. Like, come on now. And you can't even say airing out dirty laundry because if a person didn't do nothing that ain't nobody else ain't do, then that's not airing out nothing. You know what you got to think about that. The minute you feel unhappiness in your relationship, that's when you are supposed to address the situation. Doesn't matter, male or female. The minute you feel some form of unhappiness or something not being there, why not say something? Again, you gotta have that conversation, no matter how uncomfortable. See, it seems like in this era we've gotten to a stage of we will allow our inner pride to say, "Nah, I'm not gonna say what's on my mind," or we are not allowed to be vulnerable no more towards each other like how we used to be. See, again, back in the day, there was a lot of couples that went through shit and shit that could have broke them up. But guess what? They had enough reason, enough common sense to say, I'm not going to let it go this far until we have this discussion. Let's have these uncomfortable talks if we need to have them. You know, if it's going to keep us in a better mind state, then come on, let's do this. No matter what relationship or marriage, if there's no spontaneousness going on either, that right there will drive a thing dull. But then again, solely lies up to the person that you are dealing with. Because some people are just not saying dull people, but they live simple. Now, if that's something that you want, then cool. You go after what you're supposed to go after. But if you want something with a little more edge, more spontaneousness, then you're supposed to find that. And don't waste time on somebody thinking you're gonna be able to change them. Lucy, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What you gotta remember that part though. It's simply up to you. I'm telling you this right now because again, you know what you get yourselves into. There's some of y'all who again will sit here and try to literally destroy somebody from the inside out just because either you got some form of resentment or you hurt behind something. But sometimes you gotta be responsible and accountable for your own actions. If you're the one that messed up your own situation, how can you get mad at somebody else? No, I mean it's the truth. See, here's the thing. The same things that got somebody glued to you, now that they glued to you, you need to make sure that they stay glued. Sometimes you're gonna have to do things that you feel might be unnecessary, but no, they're necessary because those simple things will always keep everything in balance. Riaz, what's going on? They'll keep it in balance. You might not want to do the date nights like that, but shoot, if you continue to do that, you don't got to be every night. But if you continue to implement that in your relationships and marriages, look, you're basically getting what you're supposed to get. If you got kids involved, you finally got the time to get away from them and have fun. That's the time y'all supposed to implement all the fun and everything else involved. Again, the problem is we've allowed ourselves not to be vulnerable towards each other. Same way we expect the one to be vulnerable, we gotta be vulnerable too sometimes. But also, when we are vulnerable, that doesn't mean you should take that, pick it apart, or even try to use it to your advantage. Because there's some women who are doing that. And then they wonder why there's some men that don't want to open or be vulnerable. I'm not going to give you my all and tell you everything, even my deepest, darkest, if I feel you going to flake out on me. Appreciate you, Lady Shay, baby. But there's real raps right there because I'm speaking from a logical place more than anything. If you have something that's worth it, keep it. Don't let us be vulnerable to you and then you're going to try to use it as a tool of destruction. See, this is another thing they giving y'all that incorporation of, well, if this ain't working, then you know how to hit them low. Ah, because no real man is going to hit you low. A real man, if anything, even despite everything, is just going to try to assess the situation and go on from there. Come on now. There's no way you can tell me you're losing out on opportunities of great anything because of me, and you don't see it. See, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of y'all women are listening to these scorn feminists. Just like some of you fellas are listening to these broken simp men. You're going to them for advice when you should be taking your own strides and your own advice and your own taking your own, actions on things. All right, well, this ain't what I really want. So what do I really want in a partner? What do I really want in that significant other? Again, it's solely up to you what you place in your life. Do you place drama or do you place some form of happiness? Time to detach all the physical natures of things when it comes to putting something great in your life, putting someone great in your life. Again, it's time for some of you men to know your self-worth and your value. Just like it's the same thing with some of you women. A lot of y'all following, well, I'm gonna say the younger crowd. A lot of y'all following everything you see on social media as far as advice and do it yourselves and whatever, whatever. But if you only getting one part of a story and not getting the whole gist of a story, or if it's not being presented, you feel this type of way about certain question. You know, see, when you allow other people and they bad experiences to step on any platform and just only give you the bad notion of it, guess what? We ain't gonna never get the complete story. Chef, what's going on, my guy? Now, my bad if y'all hearing something in the background. It sound like some alarm went off somewhere. That shit is annoying. Again, solely think and remember this. You can't blame nobody else for the decision or the person that you placed in your life. Prime example, if you know this person inside and out was just a bad thing, your goal, and I'm saying it for both men and women, if you know this is what it wasn't, make sure you don't make that same mistake twice. But again, it should go back to how it was. It's not just courting you. Let me make sure that you have a stable mind. If you are somebody that I feel I want to be with, let me make sure I don't have to worry about you flaking on me or trying to do anything that would damage anything. There's some people who have managed to maintain and keep strong relationships and marriages happening just because they knew exactly how to. I know what my partner likes. I know what my partner don't like. Let me just make sure I'm keeping the things they don't like out of the equation. It's all about common checks and balances when it comes to your relationship or your marriage. Your all in all balance should again incorporate this one thing. In order for me to keep being prosperous with this person, I need to always remain in tune with this person. But the minute I feel something is not going right, or the minute I feel I'm having doubts about certain things, and I should be able to have a talk with that person and see what the situation arises from and how we can settle it so we can move forward. See, I'm gonna be honest. This is another reason to a degree. It's not so much as women not wanting to be married nowadays. You got the young men that don't want to be married only because look at some of the things happening. There's some people who have put themselves in a position. So The thing is to protect your position at all costs. Because my thing is, some people might be blind to the facts. Some people might be slightly naive. Some might not even be aware that things are happening. But just to be on the safe side, you're always supposed to protect yourself on all cylinders, financially and everything else. I'm gonna use this prime example. Y'all heard about the situation with Tom Brady and his ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife. Yeah, you cheated on that man, and then you thought you was gonna just line his pockets, and that man served you up. Nothing in his name. Smartest thing I've seen him and a few other people do. Because my thing is, if I'm putting a ring on your finger, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. You didn't upgrade me the way you thought you upgraded me. Like I always told somebody, if the person you met was in the same position after you left, what does that tell you? You didn't really do much. And I would say the same thing on both angles. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, I upgraded this one." Upgraded them to what? You might have changed somewhat of a dynamic, but you didn't fully upgrade. Now, it's a difference if, and I'm gonna say this for the women, prime example. It's a difference if you met that man and he ain't have nothing, and you was already solidified, and then after you left, he done became solidified. That's different. But if that man is already established, already had an establishment and a firmament within his own right, he gonna protect his more than anything. And y'all know that. Regardless to what, some people are just not gonna play crazy games, not gonna take crazy risks. They're gonna follow their gut. Even when they are unaware of certain things, they will still follow their gut. In that instance right there, because you figured they was gonna stay married. At least from my view, I could have seen them staying married forever. But fellas, this is a prime example too. It's a it's a story on both ends. Because in my opinion, they both was at fault. Despite what she did, you didn't do what was necessary as a man to keep her happy. Like if your wife has asked you something, if she's asking you something because she feels it's for the betterment of both of y'all, sit down and listen, or at least reason with it. Prime example: if your wife is telling you, "I don't want you to play this sport no more because I feel this is going to be, life changing on both ends," it should be honored and respected. That'd be like you being a boxer. All right, at a certain age, you're gonna stop fighting. Some of y'all might still fight because it's the thrill of the sport. It's just something you used to do. But at certain points, you ain't gonna be able to go them distances. You're not gonna be able to. I don't care how good the shape you are. The older you get, the more slower that you get. So, in that notion right there, you should have just listened to reason. But that still don't excuse her neither, because you didn't have to go out there and cheat and then try to do the unnecessary. See, I want so many young women to not play into that book right there. Don't play into that book of, because I didn't get what I wanted, or because this plan didn't work. Now my next option definitely gonna work. This is what I'm saying. Oh no. In certain scenarios, things will turn worse because you just didn't listen to reason on either end. You gotta respect that man too, because that man feels he can still play the sport, and he's showing you and proving to you that he's doing it. Even if he don't look like a shell of himself, he's still out there, still competing. That should be the utmost respect, because most people would have sat it down already. But that should go to show you that there's drive and determination in some people. Some people will push something until they can't push it no more. But fellas, you also gotta remember there's also a balance within that. Again, align yourself up with the person that best suits you, and don't just accept anything. Again, choose the one who really wants you and shows that they want you. But they also showing that they need you too. Because somebody could want you but don't need you, and somebody can need you but don't want you. You want somebody that's going to give you both. I want you and I need you. And once you do got somebody that's aligned like that, hey, your best bet on either end is just to keep it. Again, keep communication open. That's your best line of defense. In order to weather the storm and get to a higher ground and keep yourself on the higher ground, is again soul communication. And the minute specific things don't change the way it's supposed to, especially if you feel this is really what you needed and required, and they ain't showing you any moves on doing it, you need to move away from it. Still have the conversation before doing anything rash. And again, I would say this on both ends. If things don't work out with y'all, instead of putting yourselves out there or putting personal affairs out there, just keep it moving. Show people that people can honestly agree to disagree on things and just move forward from it. Because I'm quite sure a prime example for some of you women that complain about some of these men. If they wasn't at some way or at some point who they were, trust me, you wouldn't have got with them in the first place. So obviously something drew you to them. Vice versa. Men act like it's just God given. No. If somebody is giving you that space and that opportunity, take it for what it is. But again, go on what you need to go on. You need to pick apart a mind and see exactly where the mind is at. Is this person feeling the same way I'm feeling about certain life situations if we get to this point and stage? There's a time to have that talk. And y'all should have that talk well before you're doing anything that you know you might end up getting into. But if you're making a careful, calculated decision on that, you pretty much got it. Don't go off of what ifs. Don't go off of everybody else's perspectives. You have to follow your own. Main thing to remember is, again, great communication and effective listening. It works all the time. You're not supposed to just hear what you want to hear. You're supposed to hear the things you need to hear. The things you need to hear are the things that are going to, again, keep your marriage or relationship solid. When your significant other is telling you they are unhappy with certain things, then y'all need to sit down and rectify that. What is it exactly that's making you unhappy? All right. How do we go about changing that? Or how do we go about fixing something to where it won't be a bother to you, if that's the case? It all depends on the scenario, but again, that conversation needs to be had on either end. Now, with the story I was talking about earlier, look here. That man, I don't know how long he done been with you, but in the same token, I could tell by the way he was feeling, you still wasn't getting the picture because you wasn't trying to take no accountability for anything. You said you want more. That man is doing everything to give you more. But then in the same token, you're not appreciating that. How you think that's gonna make that man feel? And that would be for any man. If I'm going out here busting my ass, putting myself on the line every day for the betterment of you, to the point where I'm not even thinking about myself. I'm doing it more for you and the foundation of what we have. How inconsiderate could you be? You know, because again, let's be real. Instead of letting the conversation just end right there, after he done said what he said, you still wanted to try to double down. But still, we had this conversation. Listen, and we've had this conversation multiple times. But what's the results? You still want more, so I got to try to do more. You can't expect me to give you everything, including the world, and then you're still unhappy about that. And then some of you who really have that mindset, you got to get out of that. You got to mature a little bit better. It's not always about having the finer things in life. It's more about having a refined and a redefined definition of love. Bring back that old school love. It wasn't always just about the gifts. It wasn't always just about this. It wasn't always about that. It was about if we gonna be solid, if we could keep our communication strong, and if we loving on each other the way we supposed to, then there should be no issues on that. We should be able to get through anything. And the minute either one of us feel any type of way about something, we need to sit down and talk reasonably. No need to be rash. No need to have an argument about it. We both got to be able to listen and hear each other out. And then we both put out our ideas or we both put out our expressions on what's going on. And then from there, we move forward. But again, it's coming down to we don't need this and we don't need that. Like I said, the truth of the matter is we need each other whether you believe that or not. The minute some of y'all wake up to that realization, it'll be a little bit more better because now you won't have a whole bunch of rash and emotional decisions being made. You're going to have more logical and more safe options, basically. But again, on both ends, people are giving you what you require and what you need. Don't just take it for granted. And don't put it on the back burner neither. Y'all should treat every day like it's your first time together. And how some people will say, even if you are married, you should keep yourself in the honeymoon stage. I think you said that recently, serious, and yeah, I've heard that a couple times. Live and treat that marriage like it's still your honeymoon stages. Keep everything fresh and according to plan. And when things don't go according to plan, and you just mellow out and wait and see and observe what happens. Savage Dave, what's going on, my guy? You already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I ain't gonna lie to you. When it's all said and done, it is solely up to you to decide what's more important. You want peace, structure, and happiness in your life, and you want to share that with somebody, okay. You gotta know how to go about it. What's needed and what's required is the most important thing. So if you want that, you have to go out there and pursue that. Be honest with you though, a lot of y'all need to stop listening to these fake gurus and experts and everything else. And again, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a licensed expert on anything that I speak on. I grant that. I'm an expert in life though. Life experiences, personal, non-personal. Conversation, never personal. Always logical. Drop the link in case anybody want to chime in though. Because I feel they're getting a better space of things. Again, there's some of y'all men and women that just have to stop listening to things that just don't fit your reason. If you know the reason why you're not capable of grasping somebody you feel is needed, you gotta do the research. But again, some people are not going to have that emotional mindset because some are coming from broken situations at hand anyway, and either have never learned or have never healed. 9 out of 10, you're gonna get one who's either never learned, or you're gonna get one who has learned but never healed. They learned things the hard way and had to heal the hard way. But again, the main thing in life is to never make the same mistakes twice when it comes down to dating or relationships, or even if you decide you want to jump the gun with somebody. Person is showing you that they are dedicated, not just part time, but all the time. That's great. That's a solid look right there. You should really focus on that. Again, you ain't gonna always get what you want, but there's things you're gonna get that you always need. You're gonna always need some form of love, appreciation, all of that. Again, that's on both ends. Ain't no man trying to be with a woman that's not gonna really be a solid rock, and vice versa. No woman gonna be with somebody that's weak minded. But again, there's certain things that don't make us weak natured or weak minded. That just makes us humans. A lot of y'all again need to start expressing your feelings. Stop putting them on the back burner. Let it be known exactly what it is. And if the person that you thought you had isn't giving you that best option, then explore your other options. In the instance, it's almost like shopping. If you like the fashion that's in there, you're gonna grab what fits you and what suits you. But if you feel the fashion is out of touch or whatever for that time frame, then you move around and shop around until you find something that fits you. It's just like trying to buy clothes. You're not going to put on no clothes that don't fit you. You want to make sure you are comfortable. No doubt, serious. Be safe on that road, baby. Ain't gonna be on here much longer anyway. I gotta get a few things in order. For those following me on Clapper, yes, I will be back at 7. Definitely be back at that time frame. And apologies for yesterday. Yeah, too much out here, too much out. But no, nonetheless, again, think about it. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, never mind. I don't gotta worry about that. I forgot. I don't gotta worry about that this week. But yeah, solely remember that one part there. The minute you're not getting what you're supposed to get, that's required. But again, shop around. Again, know your self worth. Got to be aware of who you are. And if you want to share your life experiences with somebody, then again, make sure that person is all in. Once you go into that level or that next step, there should be no turning back. And if you already made it that far, then what's stopping you from going even further? It's a question that should be generally asked. I'm gonna hold you though. Stop listening to outside interference. Stop listening to all the what ifs. You gotta follow again what best feels right for you. Get rid of all the toxic natures again that is stopping you from progression in life. And again, if you have somebody who is giving you your all, and I'm gonna say this again on both ends, because you get tired of hearing the complaining and the stories on that notion too. You got somebody that's giving you your all, and you're not either appreciative of it or you still don't figure out what you need to keep doing to keep that person happy. You have a problem. But again, on either end, the minute you are unhappy, you need to sit down and have a grown man and a grown woman conversation. You'll find out that that'll be a key component to just great stability. Just make sure that the person that you are with is not causing any real infidelities or anything along those lines that would be deal breakers. See, you would have to know exactly where your boundaries will stop at. Everybody has to have boundaries and cutoff points when it comes to that too. You don't want to continue to waste time with people that are not going to take into consideration your needs and your dreams. I'm gonna leave it right here. Trying to figure out dinner. Don't really feel like cooking today, but I think I will. But yeah, I'm gonna revisit this as well too. Hopefully somebody will get something out of this. Oh, before I do get up out of here, appreciate those who have been part of the build, still becoming part of the build. Still got great conversations going. We still gonna find ways to get back to the improvement. Again, some of you can't come on here crying and moping and trying to give all the ill dirt. And again, the decision has always been up to you. You got to take accountability and responsibility for your part because you chose it. And if you knew that wasn't going to be the best option for you, you should have continued to shop around. But yeah, for those following me on Clapper, I will definitely see y'all at 7. Oh, before I get up out of here, too, I ain't forget about y'all. Happy birthday to all you Virgo babies this month. I did not forget about you. I did not forget about you, baby. But hopefully, enjoy yourselves, keep yourself safe, and enjoy whatever events you might have planned, whether it's something simple or just going out for the gusto on your day. Enjoy yourself. Keep enjoying yourself. Another year, another blessing. Yeah, let me get up out of here. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love, and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real bills. And I definitely see y'all at 7. And we will be having a nice little discussion as well too. But y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do that just yet. I forgot. I can't do that just yet. I was supposed to give y'all the double whammy. I was. I was supposed to give y'all a double whammy for those celebrating again. Get your dance on for me. Oh yeah, and Baby Rufus want to give y'all a happy birthday too. Don't worry. But y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.